So my first character was a dwarven fighter. And back when I started playing Neverwinter, I really didn't like the fact that I had play all through an adventure zone like Icespire Peak. And then rather than actually get to finish the adventure, I had to queue up for a dungeon like Frozen Heart. And I had to play through it with a bunch of strangers after playing the entire story by myself. I don't know. It was 4 years ago. I was younger then. Who knows? So what I started doing with my Dwarven Fighter, this was before the combat rework, is I would play through, get to a high enough level that I could go through these adventures, these dungeons by myself, solo. And before the combat rework, that was a lot easier. So I got through Cloak Tower by myself. I got through Grey Wolf Den by myself. It was really cool to be able to say that I had played through the entire storyline and then I got to finish it on my own. The one that got me, though, the one I never managed to do, was Frozen Heart. Frickin' combat rework. Hey everybody, I'm Cal, and now that you're here, let's talk about Neverwinter. And don't get me wrong, combat rework didn't fix Neverwinter. It also didn't break Neverwinter. There's an awful lot of people who are being awfully loud about the terrors of the combat rework, and this isn't the time or place to rehash that discussion. We have a Jewel of the North video coming up in a couple of months, probably. But what I will say is, if you think the combat rework was bad, imagine what would happen if they undid the combat rework after 4 years of people finding this game and playing this game and learning how the combat system works now. If you want a fractured player base, undo all of that. Come on, seriously. It wouldn't be good for anyone. Anyway, today we're talking about second half of Icespire Peak. Looking out over the mountains, freezing our scarf off. We have climbed all the way to the Frozen Axe. Now we have the mission to go out and kill the Hands of Hrimnir. And Hrimnir apparently has 4 hands, and you're supposed to go kill 3 of them. There's like a bonus hand further up the mountain that you can get later. This quest is always kind of fun. It's also got a little element of frustration, just a soupçon of frustration added in, because each hand is named. Each hand is a specific person, which makes perfect logical sense if you're looking at it from a Dungeons & Dragons perspective. Hrimnir's got these lieutenants, and you've got to defeat each of his lieutenants. Unfortunately, from an MMO perspective, that means you find yourself waiting in line, waiting for that dude to respawn so that you can get at least one hit in before he dies again. And there's just something about this part of Icespire Peak. It's a bottleneck. There's always someone else running around trying to kill these lieutenants the same time you are. I don't think I've ever gotten up onto Icespire Peak and been able to just kill these lieutenants by myself without someone else being there. And either I took their hand or they took my hand, but that hand dies and suddenly someone else shows up and now they've got to wait. Or you run a little further up the mountain and you're going to kill that hand and someone's finishing it just as you come around the corner. Either way, just renaming these guys Hands of Hrimnir instead of giving them unique names and letting you defeat any 3 of them, even if it's the same one 3 times, would just remove so much of the frustration from this specific part of Icespire Peak. And for an otherwise really fun adventure, it would make such a difference and also help to just make this entire thing make a little bit more sense. So next part of Icespire Peak after the Hands of Hrimnir is to come and defeat this really cool looking Rime Hound, which makes these appearances like up there looking down on me. Something really cool about the way the villain just kind of appears and looks at you and watches you enter their lair. They're going to eat you in their own time, is what the message seems to be, which is pretty cool. So many monsters can't wait to come and try to eat you, and it always ends with them just dying right away. With this Rime Hound, you actually get to see the monster. You get to experience the monster a little bit. And I mean, sure, there's an element of, I'm looking up at this monster and, today I'm playing a rogue, but what if I'm playing my ranger? Seriously, my ranger can't just shoot that thing off that bridge? There's also an element of, it's a game, and it's just there to look cool, and it's basically just another piece of terrain that is there as a backdrop. And the time will come to go and kill the ice wolf. It's, in fact, I think it's right around the corner from this room, in fact. Okay, alright, so here we go. I am ready for this fight. The Rime Hound, it's another 4th edition creature added into the game. It's appropriate for Neverwinter, which came out when 4E was a thing. I've read the monster manual. I've got the miniature. What was that? Oh, I see. If you take the Ice Spikes ability, which is an immediate reaction that's triggered whenever an enemy misses the Rime Hound, and mix in the Frost Storm ability, which is a standard action in a close burst of 30 feet that the Rime Hound can use every now and then, you add in an element of imagination, and what you get stupendous. I love it. I want more of it. Alright. After you defeated the Rime Hound, all that's left is to collect your reward and then go and kill Hrimnir himself. And kill the bonus hand. All that's left is to go and kill Hrimnir himself after you kill the 4th hand of Hrimnir. Which, really, easy to do, right? And plant the flag. Don't forget to plant the flag. Kill the extra hand of Hrimnir, plant the flag, and then all that remains is to kill Hrimnir himself. I mean, you're basically already there. And unlike the Frozen Heart dungeon, you've only got to kill this guy one time. I keep expecting one of the devs to put in the update notes one of these weeks. Wait a minute. One time? Who thought you could get away with only killing him one time? Now we've upped it to 5 times. No, seriously, that's a joke. We don't want to kill him 5 times. Hell, we don't even want to kill him 3 times. Once is plenty. Killing anybody once, as a rule, once is plenty. Florin basically shows up at this point just to say, it wasn't enough for me to have a Scottish accent. I need to be such a token dwarven NPC in this game that I also led blindly ahead when I wasn't supposed to, and now all of my troops are dead, and it falls upon your shoulders to be the hero. I mean, really, why does Florin get to be the one that shows up in Dreadring later? Scottish accent? Check. Self-defeating pride? Check. Super dwarf. So it turns out spikes were on sale at the Monster Mart the other day, so the Rime Hound picked up a couple, Hrimnir brought a few home for his golem. It's a really cool deal, great sale. If it ever comes around again, everyone should find out about it. Spikes for everyone. You get a spike, and you get a spike. Totally cool. Spikes on your gear. What I don't recommend is the gear that makes you explode like all these ice golems seem to do. 0 out of 10. Would not recommend. And finally it's happened. You fought your way to the castle at the center of the Goblin City, and you can throw down with Hrimnir. All that remains is to fight Hrimnir himself. Do you have what it takes, adventurer? Do you have it in you to defeat the Frost Giant King? And check out those gauntlets. He picked up a couple spikes for himself during the big spike sale. Go, Hrimnir. Alright, well, he's dead, so it didn't really help him that much. But anyway. Alright, everybody, that finishes up our video for this week. I hope you've enjoyed the second half of the climb up Icespire Peak. If you did, please like and subscribe. Leave us a comment in the comment section below. It really helps us out. Let us know that you want to see some more. And we'll look forward to seeing you next time when we talk about Neverwinter.